Hey, today on Canine Coaching, we're going to talk about setting your puppy up for success. So, one of the most important things to put your energy into right now is developing really good sleep and nap routines. This means setting yourself up for success by thinking through your day and your schedule. And really, you're not puppy training, you're building a dog and a reliable routine for an adult dog. I know that seems crazy to think about now with this little ball of fluff in front of you, but the things you do now could be what their expectations are later in life. So it's really important you get this right. So it might mean a little extra work now for long-term success, but trust me, it's worth it. You put in the energy now, it pays off for years and years and years. So if you get really, really good sleep behaviors, you get better outward behaviors, it's easier to train, you get less frustration and more learning. We'll talk a lot about memory consolidation, but sleep is one of the most important things for memory consolidation for puppies. So one of the most important things is setting the environment. And this is going to be different for everybody. So if you're working from home, you have to think about, like, should puppy be napping in this environment? Am I going to be disturbing that puppy's sleep? Or is that puppy going to rest faster, easier, and longer if they see I'm relatively nearby? A lot of this has to come down to how resilient and secure your puppy is. So this could be innate, this could be from where they came from, this could be some attachment issues, and you're going to know pretty quick. This whole cry it out thing that people do with both human babies and puppies, it doesn't work. Yes, there will be some level of frustration that you're going to have to tolerate and some whining maybe while they settle in, but you don't want a puppy to be in distress and have negative associations with their kennels, crates, X-pens, any of those management tools that you might be using for confinement. So think about setting up the environment and deciding, well, that didn't work very well. Being in the room with me while I had the work meeting, the puppy kept needing me, and I eventually caved, and the puppy just had its nap on my lap. It's not going to work long term, right? So I might start thinking about, what am I doing before nap time that's making it hard for my puppy to settle? And this is a lot about our routines. So thinking about something like a little playtime. So physical exertion, either with you and a toy for 10 good minutes, might be a fun thing to do before rest. Play with another dog. This one, I caution people. If it's an adult, mature dog and the arousal is not going too high, it's probably okay. You want it to be like enjoyment, not ecstatic, crazy fun time. So this means not going to dog parks, not going to doggy daycares, and then expecting good consolidated sleep afterward. That's too much arousal. It's like taking kids to Disneyland and then saying, now settle down and do some algebra, right? It's not going to happen. So setting yourself up for success is all about things that are sustainable. Could you do that during a work week? Could you do that on a weekend? So I like to think about maybe, giving my dog 10 minutes of focused playtime and then 15 to 20 minutes of a lick mat or a little puzzle or something to chew on, or something to self-soothe on when they're in their little confined space. And this is going to help them settle down for nap. Then maybe outside for one last potty try, back in, now I ignore you. Now let's talk about the environment, because this is really important. I love sensory dampening. So this might mean closing the blinds so there's less light coming in. You might have some white noise like a fan or an air purifier. That's double duty, cleans your air of pet dander if you have a shedding breed. There's also these great little cubes you can get that produce sound with calming music, and it's really small and lightweight. I can take that with me when I travel. I can hang it pretty much anywhere in the house. It's got a 7-hour battery, so I'll put links to products and information on there, but really, if you think about it, you just don't want them to responding to every acute little sound. Also, again, is this sustainable? If you do something now, can that be something you do over time? So for instance, if I have work calls, I probably can't have NPR blaring in the background. So white noise might be a better choice for my puppy. So think about setting yourself up for success by, what are you doing before nap time? And I will tell you, here's the biggest thing trainers do well that most companion owners don't do well. Companion owners tend to think a tired dog is a well-behaved dog. Yeah, for a couple of minutes. You physically wear out a puppy with a jog or a run or a playtime, and they're going to be tired and they might have a short nap, but it'll probably be a more disturbed nap where they're waking up frequently because their body's just been moving, their high state of arousal, and then crashing like a kid coming off a sugar high. I know we're being a little anthropomorphic here, but it's a good mental model for you to identify with. Versus mental exertion is usually 2 to 3 times more effective at getting a tired puppy brain. So if I go out and I do some relaxation, chill out exercise, puppy push-ups, sit down, stand, that kind of stuff, which I'll show you throughout our work together, then you're going to be able to use that to set up nap time and sleeping time. If your dog's not sleeping through the night, you have to ask the questions. Are they sleeping in your room? And is this a problem? Everybody wants the dog that hangs out in the room, but you also have to think about the life of that dog. If you have a breed that's going to live 10 to 15 years, then you need to think about how your life's going to change. So we had a baby at some point, and my older dog had to then make her way out of our room. So sleep is so important to us. And actually what we found is she slept better too. Without us moving around and jostling around, our dogs got better sleep too. So one of the big tips is either covering kennels and crates for light and disturbances. And if you're a person that gets up a lot of dogs, they're genetically wired to respond to our movements. They're going to get up with us. They're going to want to move with us. So unless you want to train your dog that I get up and move around a lot while you're in your crate or your confined space or on your bed, then I would think about maybe them sleeping in a different room than you. This can be really, really helpful long term. So if you have a puppy that works for, great. If not, go with what you got. And you can gradually get there over time. So this might be a crate next to your bed, which eventually becomes a dog bed. And eventually that dog bed starts to make its way into the hallway and then down the hall, etc. So you can always get to that big goal, even if your puppy's needs are a little bit higher now. If you think about it, these young puppies that are coming home between 8 and 12 weeks old, they really should be sleeping for almost 18 to 20 hours a day. That means you're going to have to be really thoughtful about getting those naps in throughout the day. Otherwise, you get really tired puppies and you get tired puppy behaviors. And then you think, I'm not doing great on this biting, or my puppy's just not learning very well. And it might be that your environment isn't set up and conducive for your puppy to get those naps and long-term sleep. So give it some thought. Think about setting the environment. What are the things you're doing before nap times? Are they helping or hurting your nap time situation? Set those sleep routines. I promise they will pay off, even if it's a little bit of work right now. Stick with it. You're doing great. Hang in there.